Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first face reveal. So today I want to just go over a little video that I was featured in on the Dapp University's channel. Some of you might have already seen it. If you haven't, then well, this is your first time looking at it. This is mainly going to be more so a reaction to it and just a follow up and updates on what happened to it. It's actually been a very long while since I've seen the video. I guess you can consider my reaction be somewhat fresh. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
Guys, I was hacked. I lost all the cryptocurrency out of my wallet almost instantly, all because I made this.
All right, first of all, Greg wasn't hacked. I was actually hacked. He was hacked prior at a prior incident, but this specific incident, what the video is about, I was the one that was hacked.
One stupid mistake. And I'm not alone. In fact, there are hackers just waiting for you to make this same mistake too, because it's so common. But I want to show you how to avoid it. You don't have to make this mistake either. So I've invited my friend Ty on the channel today, who's also a blockchain developer, to talk about he was hacked and lost all of his cryptocurrency so that you can learn from this and not have to make this same mistake too.
Hey, he mentioned me. He's like, yo, my friend Ty, got him on the channel. I geek out about that.
So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that sounds good to you, then smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step by step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started now.
Now, Greg actually produces a lot of great content if you want to learn how to get into blockchain development. Even a lot of his stuff that he produced out, I was even interested in, and I took the course, and it essentially brought me to who I am today, not only as a blockchain developer, but also as a software developer as well. But I'll explain more about it in the video.
Welcome, Ty. We're going to talk more about Ty and his background.
I just love the haircut that I had. It's kind of the same now. It's a little similar, but I like this one much better. I don't know when I got that haircut. I think I was going to meet somebody, or if I was going on a date or something. I don't even remember why I got the haircut.
Because I think you all are going to really enjoy this. So stick around for the rest of the video. But for now, I want to focus on, what happened to you, Ty?
I was a participant in the ETH Global Hackathon, Hack Money, and
Hack Money was a hackathon that took place from April 26th to May 25th, I believe. No, April 24th to May 25th, and I participated in the hackathon. I'll be honest, my project I submitted could have been a lot better, but when you're juggling probably around 3 to 4 different software projects, it really wasn't something that I could spend most of my time on. But I wish I would have spent more time with it and participated in a team at the Hack Money Hackathon.
I was so busy with so many different projects and so many different things. And when it came time to submit the project, when I put it on GitHub, I didn't know that I had my mnemonic phrase still inside the code. And the reason why I had my mnemonic was because I had needed to test something with MetaMask and see if it actually worked and if it actually pulled the
So one thing that people criticize in a little bit in comments and in some Discord groups that I shared it with, they were saying why I was so happy that I got hacked. There was two reasons. One, I was geeking out that I was on Dapp University. When you watch someone so it's been around 2 years now when I was watching Dapp University and me finally being on there as a full length video, I was geeking out a little bit about that. I was geeking out. And two was, at that moment, I think this was like a week or two after it happened, when we had filmed the interview. At that moment, I was just like, man, it is whatever. I don't have time to be worried about losing thousands when I can make millions.
And I forgot to ignore the file that the mnemonic was in, and it was on GitHub. And then soon after, I say it was about 100 seconds or so, all my money was gone. And right soon as I put it on there, I was just getting like hundreds of notifications. I was like, what's going on? And it wasn't until I looked at my address, I had around $1,000 or so dollars, and then all of a sudden, it was just gone. I was like, where happened to all my money? Gone.
So not all my money was gone. All the money I had in assets that wasn't tied to a DeFi protocol was gone. So I think at the time I had around $500 in ETH. Between so here, let me explain it because I didn't really explain it that very well in the video. So when you have a MetaMask wallet and you create an account with MetaMask and you create essentially sub accounts associated with that wallet, if someone gets access to your mnemonic device, not your mnemonic device, if they get access to your mnemonic phrase, which you use to access your, hold on, give me 1 second. They use to access your assets, they then can essentially get access to all the different currencies. And I was using different wallets to test out different DeFi protocols, and just it was just a very, very easy way to keep track of what I was doing with each account. So for one account, I think I was trading on synthetics. Another account, I was just doing collectibles and this and that and so forth. So they didn't take all the money. They only took the money that I had, an ETH. They took some DAI I had and some BET, and all that was in total around $500.
Yeah, it's a really sickening feeling, man. I mean, I know how this goes. I've definitely lost cryptocurrency myself from making mistakes as a developer, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I want to bring this up. So basically, guys, if you're still trying to figure out what we're talking about here, you have private keys, you have mnemonic.
Yo, Greg, you got a pretty nice haircut too. I just noticed that. I never even noticed you got a nice haircut as well.
Seed phrases, which are basically like passwords to your cryptocurrency. And, you should never keep those inside of a project that doesn't exist on your own computer. Okay. So like in Ty's case, he used GitHub. I've done this too. So like I said, I'm not trying to make Ty feel bad. This is really to help you all. He kept his private key, or his mnemonic in this case, inside his project, pushed up to GitHub, and a bot just instantly stole all his money.
Oh, yes, that's the thing I forgot to mention. So when I had pushed the project to GitHub, remember it was remember this was a hack money project I was doing, and I had the mnemonic seed phrase essentially inside the project. It wasn't in a get ignore file, like an environment variable, and people were like, oh, why you didn't put it in the GitHub environment variable? I just forgot. I'm sorry, people forget. So when I had pushed it to GitHub, I thought it was going to be a private repository, and I just had to invite said members in order to see it or get access to it. So that's why I wasn't really too worried about it. But then they said, oh, you got to push it public, and so I thought everything was good. But I was still a little iffy about it. I didn't know why or what happened with it, but there was just something iffy about it that just got under my skin. And then ultimately, you saw what happened. So as soon as I had pushed it to GitHub, I'd say probably around a minute and a half later, I was getting Google notifications. So if you have your wallet on, every wallet's on Etherscan, but what you could do is you could set up alerts associated to your Gmail account. Don't worry, it's not going to be public or anything, but if you set up an account on Etherscan and you have a wallet that you want to keep track of and watch, you could essentially keep alerts on it. So whenever certain transactions happen, whenever something surpasses a certain amount, when money's moved, you'll instantly get a notification to your email. So that's what happened, and I was just getting all these rapid email notifications. The money didn't get, so it wasn't taken all. The money wasn't taken all at once. It was essentially like small little increments, and I can show you right here if I haven't posted it already.
So there are people sniffing these opportunities out and watching for them. So be careful.
Right, and the crazy thing about it was just so fast. Usually people will say, "Oh, don't keep any digital copies of it," and people
do not keep a digital copy of your private key, your mnemonic phrase, or anything. I'm even skeptical about sending out my public address nowadays because there's ways people could like hack exchanges and stuff and find if you use an exchange that has any type of identity tied to you, even as little as an email, then they can find you. And people always say, "Oh, well, I can send my email out. That's just safe." It's not really, because if you use your email to access social media accounts, well, a lot of times people can set up bots to see what account has an email associated with it, and they can pretty much narrow it from there. So one of the best ways to go about this is just set up like a wallet that you only want to use to receive transactions from. Coinbase is a good thing about this, because when money is sent to your Coinbase account, it's not really sent to your Coinbase account. It's sent to the Coinbase system, and Coinbase has a identifier that says, "Oh, this person owns X amount of Ether, so we're going to store this in our data servers."
Over and over again, it almost became white noise. But it's not until when it actually happens when it's like, oh snap. And I'll even send. Hopefully, Greg, you put the address Etherscan in the video.
He did not do it, but I will put it in this video so that way you can see it and keep track of it.
Description that actually shows all the small transactions, because it wasn't just one transaction that moved all the coins. It was the bot. It was moving very small increments. That's why I kept getting all these different notifications of what's going on.
Right. Like I said, sorry this happened to you, Ty. It's happened to me too. But, thanks for coming on today to help educate everyone about this, because frankly, we don't want you all to have to go through this kind of thing too. And, like Ty said, he learned the hard way. I've learned the hard way, but you all don't have to learn the hard way.
Yes, and this is another thing too, that I really fear that's going to happen to a lot more people in the near future. Stuff like this happens to people who are already crypto literate, and not even crypto literate. I say even as far as people who are well versed in the crypto industry, as far as a technical level, on a high technical level. Now imagine people like your grandma or your uncle or even your baby cousin that's just trying to get out in the world and don't even know much about finance, and they learn more about crypto. These are some bad habits to pick up on. So I do hope that the user experience becomes a lot better in the near future.
That's why we created this video for you. So, while we're talking about this, one of the big reasons I wanted to have Ty on the channel too was
because I am sexy.
To tell more about his story, kind of becoming a blockchain developer. Tell everybody about what you do now. Because Ty is part of the blockchain bootcamp. He's part of the blockchain mastery program. And he's got a cool story. Everybody's kind of got different goals in blockchain. Some people want to become full-time employees or for companies. Some people want to build their own app. Some people want to become freelancers. And Ty is getting out there, starting his own businesses, and also doing like client work and things like that. So I figured it'd be great to talk about that, because I know that there's plenty of people watching this video who have both of those types of goals. And also, Ty is a self-taught programmer, doesn't have a computer science degree or anything like that, no fancy credentials, and that's what he's doing full time. So, tell us about what you're doing now, Ty, and then maybe we'll talk about your background.
It's so interesting to watch this video, because keep in mind, I only watched this video once, and now I'm watching it again for the first time. I'm seeing myself as a wholly different person, but it's just interesting now, because you gotta keep in mind this interview lasted about an hour. No, it wasn't even an hour. It's 30 minutes, the interview itself, and then me and Greg talking back and forth before and after, so that was an extra 30 minutes. So in total, it was an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. Now next part of the video, more about me and my journey to become a blockchain developer, software developer. So I'm going to end it there, just to solely keep the first part of this video solely focused on what happened with the me getting hacked. Update, actually, I was actually able to recover my lost funds. You guys remember how I said in all these news titles, and even in the title that I put in the Reddit video, it says losing $1,200 in 100 seconds. And that $1,200 actually came from the stimulus check. So smart investments. I invested my stimulus check into the crypto. That really wasn't the whole story. So I had mentioned earlier, they took $500 worth of crypto assets, ERC20 assets. The rest of it was actually locked. So what that means is it was still in an address, but I couldn't access it. If anytime I tried to withdraw those funds or get access to the wallet, there wasn't any ETH, and if I was to send ETH to this address, it'll be siphoned out just like that. And you could try to increase the gas fee by beating the bot, but you'll have to write some type of smart contract in order to do it. And it was also risky because what the bot could do could essentially intercept your transaction and just send it to a different address if you try to fight it. So one thing I can say, I'm grateful for all of the community. Throughout this process, there was $500 that was taken. The $700 of it was locked. And then this was around when Ethereum was around $150, $160, something like that. I don't remember the exact price. When I had waited a couple months, Ethereum went up to like $300 to $400. So that $700 ultimately grew to $1,200 again. I came back and I looked at this address, and then I was like, okay, there's still like $1,200 left in it. And then I had some debt to tie to it, and the debt, increases with APR. So it was like $400 or something debt that I owed. So ultimately it came down around $800 that I could have taken out. Now those DeFi coins were tokens. So even though there was some debt tied to those DeFi coins, you can't withdraw all at once, but you could withdraw up to the available liquidity amount. So when I had looked at this, I said, okay, there's still about $800 worth of ETH I can still capture. So there was one problem. I lost my mnemonic and I lost my private key. But hold and behold, there was a way. And foolishly, what got me into this mess, in a way, also got me out of this mess. I sent my private key to someone on Reddit, through a Reddit chat, who was talking, giving me some. And what I had did was, because I had thought back, because you got to keep in mind, in the crypto space, your private key is essentially your life. It's the key to hold all your funds. So I knew I sent it to somebody. I couldn't remember where, because you gotta remember, I was telling everybody. I finally found the guy on Reddit who I sent it to. So I was able to re-access the wallet again, which I was very, very grateful to do so. When I had gotten access back to it again, I had did a test. So I sent some test ether. The gas fees, if you look at the gas prices around that time, they were very high, very, very high. So I sent around $20 just to test it out, just to see what it do, see if the bot was still active. I guess it wasn't for a split window. I had put together a whole operation. I wrote it down. I'm like, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send just the amount of ETH I needed just to get those coins out. And so I think I sent around $100 worth of ETH. And so the transactions operated by, I sent the ETH to the address. I use that ETH only just for gas in order to take that money out. And if there was some ETH or other coins left over, I'll try to rescue those as well. So I sent the ETH to it first. I was very scared that the bot was going to start getting activated. But I guess what happened at the time was the gas fees was just so high that the bot just couldn't be able to process certain transactions. Because you got to keep in mind, like, your gas fees were anywhere from like $20 to $30 to even $50. And not only that, if you use certain smart contracts, those gas fees are going to get pinned to as well. So when I had sent the funds to that address, I would try to, withdraw all the tokens at once. I couldn't, because there was that tied to it. But yeah, so when I had sent those tokens, I had just sent it to a safe wallet that I had, and I ultimately rescued my coins. And that's essentially the update. And there's even more to that story that I'll talk about for another time. So this is essentially part 1 to... So this is essentially the first part of Greg's video where he's talking solely about me being hacked, and that's essentially the overall arcing story of what happened. Hope you guys love this video, and if you guys like this video, well, you know the spill. Or you can also check me out on Medium on different social media platforms. That'd be cool too. I'm gonna have a written version essentially of this, explaining it. If you are more of a reader, not much of a video watcher, then that might work for you. So I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on everything that happens, and have a great day.